Black CEO walks into a bank to access her own account. She's denied service, threatened with security, and then just 10 minutes later,
I'm sorry, but we can't accept this today. The account is under review.
But this is urgent. I don't understand why.
As I said, there's nothing more I can do.
This is your last warning. Get back to your post and forget everything you saw.
the truth comes out, and an entire bank branch pays the price. Watch till the end, because this isn't what you think it is. Look at me for 3 seconds, because what you're about to hear is not just a story. It's a mirror, and once you see yourself in it, you won't forget it. You think success protects you from disrespect, you think titles and money act like armor, you think once you reach the top the world suddenly treats you fairly. But stay with me, because this will dismantle that illusion piece by piece. On a quiet Tuesday morning, when the city moved at its slow, predictable pace, Maya Reynolds walked into a downtown bank branch that had her company's logo engraved on plaques behind the scenes, though no one on the floor recognized it. She wore a tailored navy suit, clean lines, understated elegance, no flashy jewelry, no entourage, no assistants whispering into Bluetooth headsets, just a woman carrying herself with the calm confidence of someone who had negotiated contracts worth more than the building she was standing in. Maya had learned long ago that true power doesn't announce itself. It observes. She joined the short line, listening to the beeping of keyboards, the rustle of paperwork, the hollow politeness of rehearsed customer service voices. When it was her turn, she stepped forward and calmly said she needed to access a high-level corporate account tied to a pending transaction. The teller barely looked up, her eyes flicking over Maya's face for half a second too long before dropping back to the screen. There was a sigh, subtle but intentional, the kind meant to signal inconvenience. The teller said Maya would need proper authorization. Maya smiled politely and replied that she was the authorized signer. The teller paused, fingers hovering over the keyboard, then shook her head and said the account required senior verification, adding, "You don't look like," and stopping mid-sentence, as if restraint deserved credit. That unfinished sentence hung in the air, heavy, familiar, and sharp. Bias often hides in what people don't finish saying. Maya asked to speak to the branch manager, her voice still even, still respectful. Minutes passed, not 1 or 2, but 10 full minutes of standing still while people behind her shifted, sighed, and whispered that she was holding up the line, as if dignity were an inconvenience. Maya had felt this before, in different rooms, different cities, different decades, always wearing a different disguise, but always rooted in the same assumption. When the manager finally emerged, arms crossed, smile tight, eyes already skeptical, she didn't ask Maya for identification, didn't check the system, didn't verify anything at all. Instead, she explained that such a substantial account couldn't be accessed by just anyone. Anyone. The word landed like a quiet slap. Maya felt the familiar heat rise in her chest, the old reflex to prove, to defend, to expose credentials like armor. She could have ended it right there by stating her name, her role, her ownership stake, but she didn't. She wanted to see how far the line would move if she stayed silent. The manager leaned closer and said if Maya didn't leave, security would be called. Security for asking about her own money. In that moment, Maya made a decision not fueled by anger, but by clarity. She stepped aside, took out her phone, and sent a single message to her executive office. Initiate executive compliance review now. No explanations, no drama. She looked up at the wall clock and watched the seconds move. 10 minutes can feel very long when you're being watched, judged, dismissed, but 10 minutes can also change the trajectory of entire careers. The doors opened again, and the energy in the room shifted instantly. The regional director walked in first, then 2 senior executives, then legal counsel. Conversations stopped. Smiles disappeared. The manager straightened, confused. The director looked across the room, saw Maya, and froze. Recognition washed over his face, followed by something close to fear. He addressed her quietly, respectfully, using her full name. The room fell silent. The teller's hands began to shake. The manager's confidence evaporated. Maya was introduced not with arrogance, but with facts. CEO of Reynolds Financial Group, majority shareholder of the institution itself. Respect arrived suddenly, embarrassingly fast, like a light switched on too late. Maya didn't raise her voice. She didn't gloat. She explained exactly what had happened, asked for surveillance footage, requested a review of past complaints, and reminded everyone present that leadership is not a badge you wear. It's behavior you practice, especially when you think no one important is watching. The process moved quickly, not because she demanded punishment, but because the evidence spoke louder than emotion. Termination notices were issued for the teller, the manager, and senior branch leadership who failed to intervene. An entire team was dismantled in under an hour, not as revenge, but as consequence. Later that day, policy changes were drafted, bias training scheduled nationwide, oversight mechanisms strengthened. Maya finally accessed her account, completed her transaction, and walked out without celebration. Sitting alone in her car afterward, she allowed herself a long breath, because winning doesn't erase the wound. It only confirms that you survived it. Power didn't protect her from bias that morning, but it did allow her to expose it. If you've ever been underestimated, spoken over, dismissed before you were known, this story is yours. And if you hold power, remember this: how you treat people when you think they don't matter reveals exactly who you are, and sometimes the person you overlook owns the room you're standing in.